Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Nuanced Nonsense. We're not experts, but we just like to talk. So this is your host Alex.
I'm your other host, Ben. And I brought on two of my good friends. Matthew came on one of the test episodes, so shout out to him. Thanks for coming. And then also another good friend of mine, Jack Lee. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm a. What? I didn't even say. Okay. I'm Jack. I'm a senior at UT, and I'm graduating soon.
Yeah, that's what a senior is.
I realized after I said that. Okay, yeah, I'm finance. Yeah, sure.
I'm Matthew. I'm a senior in Macombs, also studying finance, but I'm pre-med.
Boo.
So that's one cool thing that we might talk about in a little bit. I've known Ben for quite a while, and also Alex quite a while, and Jack quite a while, so I'm pretty happy to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get into any topics, shout out 100 times to Lynn Tran and Sarah Quay. Thank you so much for making our sketches and the designs for all of our things. Yeah, hopefully they'll come on at some time, and we'll shout out their Instagram handles at the end of this.
Good.
But yeah, to get back into what we're about, we always ask this to all the guests. What have the past years been what have the past 3 years in college been like for you guys?
I guess I'll go first. So I started out. I was really gung ho on pre-med. I came in as a biochem major, I think. I realized really quickly that I was really bad at science, so I left and transferred to computer science. And I realized I was really bad at computer science. So I transferred into business, and then I've been business for the past 2 years, for my junior and now for my senior year. It's been fun. I like it.
Any things you're proud of or regret?
I think regret was not choosing my major more carefully. I switched a lot, and it was really tough because UT puts in a lot of restrictions to make sure that, to prevent people from transferring a lot and setting back their degree plan. So I really wished I had known that I wanted to do business from the beginning to save myself a lot of the hassle. And things I'm proud of is I think finally being able to transfer into business, because I actually started out and knew I wanted to do business after freshman year, but I couldn't get into their program. So I had to spend an extra year working hard and getting my grades up to transfer. But I did it, and I'm pretty happy where I am today.
Yeah, I also changed my major. I was a freshman chemi, so I thought I could make chemi and pre-med work, but that's something that a very select few can actually do.
Good.
I really did not like the whole math side of everything in engineering. I thought it was going to be more chemistry. Completely wrong. But I was very fortunate to be able to transfer to Macombs, which is the business school at UT, to get out of that hellhole. Because I was pre-med the whole time, and one important thing about pre-med is keeping your GPA up. I eventually added a bio major too, so I'm a double major, and that was kind of that major change was a big part of my freshman year. Sophomore, junior year was a lot about just establishing my friend groups and my role here at UT. I found a big role in this organization called Filipino Students Association, FSA. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, tell us about it. What is Filipino Student Association?
This is like an advertisement.
You two are Macombs majors. You tell me.
Oh, that's true.
I think we'll get more into it later, but basically it's not exclusive to Filipino people. It's a big social club where we do a ton of different things, like cultural workshops, but also intramural sports and dancing, which is the facets that I'm involved in particular. So I became an officer in that. It was super fun, but now I'm a senior and applying to med school, so that's been taking up a lot of my time. And it's been nice. I could have graduated early, but I'm pretty happy I didn't, just because the fourth year, it's nice to take your time to graduate and stuff like that.
Any regrets or things you're proud of in this time we've been here?
I feel like I don't regret too much. I'm pretty proud of just how much I've made out of my experience at UT. It's been well worth coming here. I can't imagine going anywhere else. So it's been great.
What made you guys want to switch into Macombs as opposed to like another major?
Sorry, you want?
I'll go first
Yeah,
for
yeah.
that one. So going off of the pre-med thing,
Oh my god.
low key easier.
Yeah, the classes are
Much
free.
easier. Not to say that it's a trash school because it's highly ranked, but conceptually, you can imagine going from these 60-page tests of plant diagrams and chemie to just financial accounting and how do you enter a journal entry about I paid you $10.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
It's probably the freest set of classes I think, like, possible. But I mean, yeah.
That's interesting considering that it's very hard to get into.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because like I've heard the opposite, like how business pre-med is really hard because like you're taking very different set of classes. Like you're taking business and you're taking like a lot of biochem.
That's a whole
like,
nother
science
challenge
classes.
too.
Yeah.
I thankfully had a lot of credit from TAMS, which is a program I went to in high school where I got a bunch of college credit through taking dual credit. And so it worked out for me. It may not work for everyone, but I'd encourage you to at least look into it if you're a pre-med because it's a nice refresher from all the science because after 4 years of studying, you might not actually enjoy the upper division class that you're taking. But for me, I think that getting a dual perspective is something that makes me still interested in school.
Yeah, sure. So,
Yeah, sure.
I mean, so I started out as pre-med, and I realized that I wasn't really interested, I guess, in spending more time in school. After my 4 years, I wanted to get out, I wanted to work. But now, going into my senior year, I really fucking regret that. I really wish that, like, I had more time in school to, I guess just, like, learn. It's like, sounds really cheesy, but, like, I think I actually enjoyed like learning stuff here at college. It's a lot different than high school where, you're just sitting in a classroom waiting to be released. It fucking sucks. But like in college, it's sort of like if you actually like the material, you'll have a good time in the class. But yeah, so I realized pre-med at that point wasn't for me. So I switched into computer science. But then on the computer science side, it was more like, I guess the best way to put it is sort of like you can have the coolest program. You can write like whatever it is that you're designing a solution for, if it doesn't, like, it can have everything, all the bells and whistles that you want, but if it doesn't fit the budget, it'll never get approved. And like I think that that's a really big reason why for me switching to finance is because I wanted to be on that budgeting side. I wanted to kind of figure out and help greenlight these kinds of cool projects just because I had some technical like knowledge of like the computer science stuff, but also like being able to greenlight and like recognize which projects were like actually good, even if they didn't make sense from like a financial, like a money making side. And then now I'm in finance, worked at a bank, and now I'm looking at consulting opportunities because I didn't really like the banking experience either. That was not very fun.
What did you not like about it?
So I worked at a investment bank in Houston this summer called Simmons Energy, and the hours were just brutal, I think, because you'd go in Monday through Friday would be from 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. And like dinner was paid, lunch was paid, Ubers were paid. It was pretty nice, and it was decent salary. But also, not only are you working on the weekdays, also on Sunday you're coming in at noon and you're working till 8 p.m. So you basically only have Saturday, and sometimes on Saturday, even if your boss, because investment banking is a very client focused. It focuses a lot on the client. So whatever the client wants, you have to be there for them. So if it's a Saturday and you're by your pool and you get a text from your boss, you need to come into the office, you have to be there in 30 minutes. It doesn't matter what you're doing. They expect you to drop your plans. And so basically that summer I didn't have a life, and it was awful. Also because like I get out at 2 a.m. and the bars would be closing in Houston. It was really sad. So I'm looking for something. I understand consulting is maybe not much better in terms of work-life balance, but if I'm going to get my ass kicked, I at least want to be getting my ass kicked in a different city. Somewhere that I haven't been in a while.
That's a
like
perk.
in a while. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So when you had to get called in the office, did you have to get dressed and everything?
Yeah.
Oh my, that's terrible.
Yeah, you have to put on the full suit and everything. Our office was fortunate enough. We're one of the laid back ones, quote unquote, because you don't have to wear a tie
you're in
every day.
Houston.
Yeah, no, even in Houston, because like they wouldn't make you wear a tie. That was like that was like a deal breaker for me when I signed my offer.
Because
Like,
unbutton the top collar.
Oh, so you can unbutton the top one and just like wear a blazer over?
Yeah. So it was just like
That's
business
pretty good.
casual.
Okay,
yeah.
that's pretty good.
And then also on Sundays, you didn't have to change. So you could come in like I could come in like this and it was fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could come in like this and then like shorts.
So on Sundays, are you just doing like more like menial work then?
Sort of. It's sort of like a lot of times we would be churning out pitch books because we'd want to get on deals, and so sometimes like the MD, your boss will say, hey, these pages need to be checked. I want you in the office like in 30 minutes or something. So you go over there. But the reason why you don't have to dress up is because a lot of the older guys aren't there, like the MDs and the VPs. They're not there. It's just the analysts and associates. Associates are like your mini boss. And so basically they don't care what you wear because they're like young too. They're like 26, 25 and stuff. And so it's just a bunch of guys just fucking around in the office. Like sometimes like play golf in there when like no one's like when
play
everyone's
golf
like bored.
in your office.
Yeah, we have like a little putt green thing.
Oh,
classic office.
Yeah,
decor.
exactly. But then we like hit the ball once too hard and like it shattered the window and we were on like the 30th floor or something.
You're
hole. Yeah, so there's like a hole in there. And
It's like a little kid playing baseball.
yeah, exactly. And then the fucking so that was in like one of the MD's offices. So he like came back on Monday with just a hole in his fucking like window. And
did he
got
notice
really
it?
mad.
It would probably be lower to the ground, right?
Yeah, it was. But we
In
like
the street
we
and
made
shit.
it made it very obvious because we put a bunch of tape over it and stuff in hopes that he wouldn't notice. And we said, "Oh, maintenance will figure it out soon." And then it still wasn't fixed when I left after the summer is over. I think he's caught on. But
What does MD stand for?
managing director.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was medicine doc.
Medicine doc.
Jokes on you. I've actually been pre-med this entire time.
Wait a
It's
second.
like this is the biggest brain path there. Like so,
Holy
if you had to be in the office within 30 minutes, like that would even restrict like what you did in your free time on Saturday.
Exactly, because you were always on call. You never knew when you were gonna get called into the office, and it was awful. Like you're basically like always looking behind your shoulder. Like like the weekends you're supposed to be like. Even like now, like you don't get an email from your professor saying you have an assignment due in 30 minutes or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like you can like go drink, you can like have fun and like not worry about that. But like I didn't have that, and I can't imagine. Most people get out after 2 years, anyways. I don't think I could last 2 years. I would go insane. I genuinely feel like I'd go insane.
What was the craziest time that you had to come in?
So like the hours are like pretty normal. It's consistently 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. But one time we had to. It was a pretty important deal. There was I'm not sure if y'all heard about the Saudi Aramco stuff that was going on.
No.
So basically, Saudi Arabia has a national oil company, and they're thinking about IPOing, about going public, and then they hired our bank to underwrite and to like pretty much to find people who are willing to buy Saudi Arabia stock.
Wait, is this the one that got hit by the bombings recently?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
company. And but so like that whole thing was going on, and then and that night I think pitch books were due by like some ungodly time in like the Middle East, and so we had to stay
international.
Exactly. So we had to stay till 5 a.m. and I had to be back in the office by 8 a.m. So I went to the gym, I showered, and I slept on one of the benches, and then I went back to work like right after that. It was not fun.
You hate to see it.
Dude, nah.
You hate to see it.
That's pretty good.
That was awful, but yeah.
So you're literally pulling like an all-nighter, like.
Yeah, pretty much. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Where do people usually go after investment banking then?
So you have a couple options. You can go private equity, which is this is like moving more towards the buy side. So on the investment banking side, you're matching buyers and sellers, but on the private equity side, you're buying up companies that are like screwed up in some way, and you're making improvements to them and flipping them. It's like buying a house, building like a nice backyard, repainting the house and stuff, and then selling it for a higher price to make a profit. That's what a private equity firm does. Other guys go into venture capital. I think that's really interesting. I think that's what I actually want to do. I want to be in California and work in those trust funds, basically.
He doesn't even want to work.
Wait, now hold on a second. No. It's actually like it's pretty cool because it's like the original idea that I had when I switched from computer science is I wanted to be able to greenlight those kinds of projects, right? And venture capital is all about that. You're like basically. Startup people come up to you and pitch their idea, and they'll be like,
"Oh, so this is like Shark Tank."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Except
Jack
like,
wants to be Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Wait, he wants to be Kevin O'Leary with zero money.
Wait, holy no! I'm working on behalf
Give
of
you
a fund.
$10, 90%.
No. Wait, who's the other guy? The owner of the
Mark
Mavericks.
Cuban?
Yeah, exactly. I want to be like Mark Cuban, dude.
You just want to cuss out your own players?
Oh, yeah, I'm actually gonna buy the Miami Dolphins. I'm already in the purchase.
That franchise is gonna destroy itself before you have the money to buy it.
Holy.
By the time you get around to it, it's no longer gonna be in Miami. It's no longer gonna be called the Dolphins either.
See, but that's the secret. It's gonna be so bad. I'll be able to pick it up for like $5.
Undervalued.
It's undervalued.
Buy.
Exactly. See. When you get a finance degree, it applies to everything and anything.
I'm just telling you right now, I'm not sure it was MJ's greatest move to buy the Hornets.
Oh my god. Dude, that's a rest in peace.
I'm just saying, man.
Wait,
so what'd you do over the summer?
What did I do over the summer?
Yeah.
So my internship was in a very different field of finance. It was corporate finance. Corporate finance.
Yes.
What is the difference?
So I worked for a company, just like a regular old company. It was a medical device company, which is like nice that it had to do with like being pre-med a little bit. But typically when you think of finances and budgeting and accounting, this is that kind of job where I worked on forecasts for sales. I worked on this thing called like a P&L, which is profit and loss. So it's like another type of accounting statement where you have to report like all of your profits and losses for shareholders, because my company in particular is like a big public company where you have to publish all that certain data. So someone's got to do it. And so you have these analysts that pull data from these databases and they put these sheets together. So a lot of my summer was like spent on Excel, and it was like it was definitely like nowhere near crazy hours. Like it was straight up 8:30 to 5 Monday through Friday. It was you get what you people say, like you get what you pay for like certain things. You get what you get paid for. Like you compensated fairly for the work that you did. So, it doesn't make as much money as investment banking or consulting, but it's your standard office job that, your stereotypical father might come back home from each day.
Wait, so were you working in cubicle?
Yeah, I had a cubicle.
Good.
Dude, that's good.
Did you have a cubicle?
No. They just gave me a desk in the middle of the hallway.
Exactly. If you're
Not
an
sure
intern,
which
you're
one's
at the
better.
bottom of the food chain.
Exactly.
Dude, I was fortunate enough to have a desk.
Dude, when I walked in, the first thing they said was, shit, the interns are coming in today. And then I like dragged a table out of the storage closet and like put it in there. So you're sitting here for the entire summer. I'm like,
I know.
like the shocked Pikachu. Like,
Good.
it was
Nice.
awful.
Wait, but I've heard about iBanking from a lot of my friends. Like, what makes it significantly better being in like SF or like New York or something like that?
So for me, actually, I think that I actually really like energy. I think oil and gas is pretty cool. A lot of environmentalists will tell you otherwise, but I like. So the difference is in San Francisco, you're spending a lot of time working with tech. So big tech companies like Facebook wants. Like, say Facebook wants to buy someone, like they would hire an investment bank that's their investment bank, but hire the arm that specializes in tech to do that. Versus in New York, which is like financial services, consumer, retail, all these basically everything else that isn't tech or oil and gas is run out of New York's office. And so, personally for me, I think Houston is the best because pay structure is the same regardless of where you go. So you're getting paid the same in Houston, New York, or San Francisco. But New York and San Francisco, you pay like fucking like $3,000 for a shoebox, right? Versus in Houston, you can spend like $800 for your own room, and like, you can like put the money, like you can basically save more money and put it towards other things.
But why does everyone want to go to SF in New York?
It's just like more. I think it's more glitz and glamour. It's
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh, okay.
And like you can also tell people, yeah, I'm like a banker in New York. That's like the epitome of Wall Street.
Like,
Oh.
like having lived in both cities, like for like some period of time, it's like super cool to live there. Like, in your 20s because it's just glitz and glamour, like Jackson.
Like it fits the image of like what people think of like a young millennial.
Yeah,
would
like
be.
a yuppie.
Yeah,
it's
like
the yuppie dream.
Wait, is there any like prestige involved, or is it just like if you're from Houston, New York, or SF, it's all the same?
I think Houston. Oh wait, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I think New York is like where a lot of finance people envision themselves going.
Yeah.
It's just partly in thanks to like Wolf on Wall Street and media like that, but it's also just like the center of the financial world. So like, it's just the mecca of finance too. You know?
Yeah, like New York never sleeps. That's like actually a thing.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
pretty cool. Like,
oh,
not gonna
really?
lie, yeah.
New York never sleeps. There's always some financial transaction going on and stuff. But that also means that like I know that the analysts in New York, because we had an analyst arm in New York too, and those guys like if I thought I had it bad, like these guys had it much worse. Like they were consistently staying until 4 a.m. every day, like 2 more hours than we were spending in the office, and like they probably had to work Saturdays too, and so it was not fun. But I think Houston is by far the best one for me. It just sucks because it's humid, like literally all the time. I hate that so much. But it's got like some cool sites and like attractions are pretty cool. I wish the bars stayed open for longer, but other than that, like it's not a bad place to live.
I mean, to be fair, in the U.S., bars generally close around 2
Yeah, it's just New
not
York.
New York.
Yeah, exactly. And San Francisco, apparently. I heard
really?
that some of the bars go on.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
I
real
went to
reason why.
SF and I saw some of my friends there, and they went out, and dude, they were up like all night.
Good.
Yeah.
Especially, did they go to like LA? Oh wait, SF, right?
SF,
Oh, wait, whoops, never mind.
like, dude, it was crazy hearing their work hours, and it's just like they get protected. Friday from midnight to Saturday noon is
Yes.
your protected times. And I was like, what? It's like my friend was telling me that's the only time. Like they protect that time because you can get a hangover, and then 12 is when you're expected to get off of it.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing. They tell you it's protected, but that's only if the MD, who's your boss, respects that. They can just straight up say, like, you can straight up, like, they can get you get an email saying, like, I need you in the office in 30 minutes. I'm like, hey, I'm on my protected time. He says, I don't care. I need you in the office now. Because they can fire you whenever they want. Like, because there's going to be, like, there's a lot of people who want to get in, and you're so easily replaced that
Oh, so you're super
It's
expendable.
like,
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's another guy with probably a similar GPA.
Exactly.
who's
And who
just
can
as
do the
desperate.
same model as you.
Exactly.
Who wants it more than you.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
They always hold that over your head.
I know that's why like outsourcing is such a big thing in like tech companies too, because like there's always like this joke like you can always just hire some like Indian fob and like overseas who's willing to do it for like $20K a year.
Yeah.
And you have to pay the US guy like $100K. you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not. It's technically protected. They probably had some nice MDs. My MD did not respect my protected time, so I basically.
And you're not even clubbing. What the
Yeah,
heck?
I know exactly.
That's double L.
Exactly. I
He
would go
deserved that
home.
hole in the office.
I would go home and I would just sit on my bed and I would just be like, "Do I really have to go to work tomorrow?" And it was really sad. It was actually like pretty sad.
Wait,
Yeah.
were you in the inner loop or outer loop?
I was actually in a place called Montrose in Houston.
What big city is it near?
I mean, it's like near Houston. So Midtown, like where the bars are, it's right outside of Midtown. There's a place called Montrose.
Oh.
So wait, inside the loop, like the loop, right?
Yeah,
There's like
it's
two circles, like one, and they're building a third one, but like that one's really big.
So yeah, there's like downtown,
Yeah.
first loop, and then Midtown,
Okay.
second loop, and I think Montrose is right outside the second loop.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you didn't have to deal with like the loop traffic.
Yeah. I mean, also like I had like the company would expense like I could expense pretty much everything I wanted, so I could Uber there like whenever I wanted to from wherever I wanted to.
Yeah, but that would take so much time.
Yeah, it would. Like so sometimes like you'd get to the office late and like they'd be fine if you're like 5 to 10 minutes late because like I mean as long as you showed up, right? Versus you just like respond to the email no and you just never show up again. That kind of gets you fired. So
Dude, that's how you get no return off.
exactly. But yeah, I like realized that that's not the life I want to lead. I kind of expected more, free time, like free time at all. So that's why I'm like switching more towards consulting.
But as you said earlier, it's still not good work-life balance. So like, what benefits does it provide?
So consulting is a different strategy. It's not like you spend more time. I would say you spend more time actually traveling than you do working. So pretty much the typical consultant schedule starts. You start on Monday, and normally you're on an engagement. You fly out to your buddy. I mean, you fly out
Your
to
buddy.
you fly out to your client's office. Sorry, you fly out to your client's office on Monday morning, and then you stay wherever they are until Thursday. And then on Thursday night, you fly back. So on Friday, you come back to your home office where you're staffed. So if I was working in Houston, right, I'd come back to Houston for Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, those are your time. Like, there's you won't get called, won't get anything. Sometimes you might have to write an email or two really quick. But all in all, it's like your time is more predictable, I think, and I think that's like a really big selling point for me. I'm willing to take pay cut or whatever it is that like need be in order to like get that free time. Because I started out like thinking that cold hard cash was like my number one priority, but then over the summer I realized that I really value work-life balance. Or
character development.
Some semblance,
Dude,
yeah, exactly.
Money can't buy happiness.
Dude, this guy's looking for like a contract. He's like, give me 60 million, zero guaranteed. I'll work for all of those dollars.
Dude, well, I just $60 million up front, and then I just leave.
Dude, that's like Elliot, bro.
No, Elliot's locked in for fucking.
Yeah, he's 5 years. It's 90 million, but 60 million guaranteed based on clauses. Like, he can get it retracted if he does like dumb shit off the field or like stuff like that. But like, if he doesn't do any of that, he's guaranteed 60 million.
But he's trapped with the Cowboys, dude.
Are you kidding? The Cowboys are so good.
No, they're not, dude.
Dude, you see Dak Prescott? He's killing shit, dude.
What?
You see your the Houston Texans?
Okay, they're garbage. Houston Texans
They
aren't
can't
that good.
protect Deshaun Watson for shit.
Okay,
He's gonna get injured in like the next game.
Bro, their O-line is so bad. Like, I mean, not as bad as like the Detroit Lions or like the Dolphins, but it's still pretty bad. I don't know. I think the Cowboys like it's decent, but I don't know, bro. They're not winning a Super
decent.
Bowl.
They're gonna win the Super Bowl.
No, they're not.
I'm calling it right now. They're
That's
winning
bullshit.
the Super
That's
Bowl.
bullshit. Or they'll get to the finals and get crushed by the Patriots again.
Dude, the Patriots think they're so good because they got Antonio Brown. He's gonna fuck up their whole locker room, and they're gonna lose in the first round in the wild card.
Did you see him pop off on his very first game?
Did you see he went 4 for 8 targets?
Okay, yeah, that was pretty bad.
That's terrible catching efficiency.
Dude, it was his helmet. I'm telling you. If
Dude,
wearing
he's
the
like,
right helmet,
I need a helmet that's at least 10 years expired so I can get brain damage.
Yeah, dude. And he's fucking like, I don't know.
I mean, you can't argue with the results.
Exactly.
It is what it is.
Wait,
Oh.
I have a conspiracy theory though that Antonio Brown's kind of like got some like head trauma up here. That's why he's acting that way. He's literally acting like a kid.
You want to know what that is? Frontal lobe damage. Making you aggressive.
Dude, pre-med by the way. Pre-med by the way.
Oh my! We can transition to sports. What do you guys like to play?
I like to play football. Fuck you, man. Football.
I think he likes to warm the bench.
Holy! All right, I'm gonna break your ankles next. That's enough. Football. Matthew got me into frisbee. I think it's pretty fun. It's a lot of running. Like holy shit! Like it's sometimes it's awful, especially if the point drags on and like you just want to die like halfway through. I think that's like pretty bad. I can't think of any other sports that.
So like the major ones are frisbee and football.
Yeah, pretty much. Those are like the two major ones I play. Maybe I played like some before, but like I don't remember. I guess like I used to swim, but that was like in high school, so and that's not really a sport. So
Wait, it is a sport. It's in the Olympics.
Yeah, you were on the high school team.
yeah, but I mean like when you think of a sport, you think of a ball, like running around. You don't
I
think.
mean, it's not a contact sport.
Yeah.
So you're telling me dancing is
it's a
not a
sport.
sport?
Yeah.
I don't know if dancing is sport.
Dude, dancing makes you like every time we go.
But
to,
gymnastics
yeah.
is a sport?
Gymnastics. Ooh, actually,
Because,
that's a
like,
good point.
So what is a sport to you?
Yeah, like we talked about this on the podcast with Son. Actually. So we were saying that sports, you typically need like an objective measure, and in gymnastics and figure skating, it takes the place of submitting a routine. For dance, you don't typically do that. I've never heard of a competition where you do that. So like it's just subjective, and it's more of an art form, I think.
So it would not be a sport.
Interesting.
Honestly, yeah. Even though I'm a dancer, I don't think it's you need to be athletic to do it. Especially a lot of times, like people do mad tricks and flips and shit. But it's something else in my opinion.
Did Sun agree with you? Say it wasn't a sport? Did Sun
What did you
say?
say?
I think he did agree.
He
Despite
agreed?
being a choreographer.
Yeah, I was like, dang, I can't believe Sun
I think the
agreed.
difference is because, like, for example, gymnastics, you must submit a routine, and then you have to abide by what you submit. You can't
And
just,
then
like, go off of it.
There's specific form to like each move that you submit because
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a backflip.
Oh, yeah.
But like a backflip is different from what's it called, like a vault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you have to do it according to the definitions of what's you submitted.
Okay.
So, but dance, you can do like
You can't just...
everyone's gonna do like a whip differently, but there's no like one correct way.
You can't just, like, call the move sheesh, and then...
Yeah, it's just like a very subjective thing.
That's fair. That's actually that's a pretty
So
that's a
so
pretty
based
good
on that definition, what sports do you play?
I started out playing basketball as a kid. That quickly transitioned into baseball. I played baseball for a long time, up until high school.
You got dunked on 1 times, so he switched.
Yeah, I'm too short. A smaller ball. I played baseball, and then as soon as I got to TAMS, that program that I mentioned before where I went to college classes, that's when I got introduced to Ultimate Frisbee, and it's been history since then. I've played at the club level before for UT, traveling for tournaments and stuff. But now I just do IMs. Super fun. And I think it's like one of the sports that I could see myself just like playing for a while. Because like for baseball, it's kind of hard to play pickup baseball. You gotta like find a league and shit. But Frisbee's nice because you can just pick it up and throw it at anyone. I never got exposed to football too much. Never got exposed to basketball beyond like elementary school. So I think Frisbee's my sport.
Interesting. So I was also taught Frisbee by like you guys and the TAMS people.
Yeah.
So
We made it cool.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay, buddy.
I'm
I
not-
wouldn't say that.
I'm not gonna.
Okay, wait, no, let me. Like,
I'm not
so
gonna
at
lie,
TAMS
it was pretty cool. Like when I first got into it, I was like, "Damn, dude, it's like you're playing the quarterback, receiver, and cornerback all at the same time."
At TAMS, the like class ahead of me, class of 2015, they play a little bit, but when we got into it, like there's this just club of kids that would go out and play pickup once a week. As soon as we got into it, everyone started getting into it. Where like our whole class just found it really cool for some reason, and we got a lot of basically like the club doubled in size just from us joining alone. And then the very next year when we were the seniors and there were juniors coming into TAMS, the club grew even more. Like when we had our first just meeting where we just went out to play Frisbee, we had enough to play like 2.5 games with like subs and stuff. So I think I have a picture of that day on like my old phone, but like I was standing at the top of like the hill over by the fields, and it looked like just almost like a mini tournament.
Damn.
People going. So class of 2016 at TAMS definitely made Frisbee a thing. They put it on the map.
Put it on the
No.
map.
Put Frisbee on the map.
It's also a huge college sport.
Yeah,
like
that's
yeah.
part of the popularity of it. Also at TAMS we won the IM championships in our senior year, so I think that's all another contributor. And then we went to this tournament with other schools that were like TAMS, kind of boarding school-esque schools.
Boarding school.
Yeah. What? TAMS is kind of like a boarding school.
It's a magnet school.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not really a magnet school.
Really?
Oh.
It's
So-
called the
It
Texas
has,
Academy
It has
of Magnet
characteristics
Science.
of a magnet school, but it's like I don't know. Like,
isn't magnet school just in like a elite public school?
Sort of. It's like I think they like have specific programs to attract like the best of the best. You know,
Yeah.
a magnet, right?
yeah.
I guess.
Wait,
Like
that can't-
IB for Plano East.
For some reason, I
Yeah.
just have a memory of them saying like this is not a magnet school because like they are magnet schools, but you know.
Oh. Well, I mean, the
TAMS is, like-
definition of what I'm hearing sounds like it could fit a magnet
Okay.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyways,
Yeah.
Frisbee. Yeah, we played in tournaments against other schools like us, and we also like would dominate them back in my day. So
Back in my day.
Yeah.
Now he's an
I
old
heard-
man. Now
I
he's just a
heard-
coach.
I
Yeah.
heard the TAMS Frisbee program is kind of going downhill, but
You guys don't know how to scout your talent.
Scouting.
We just got like nerdy kids coming that sometimes they know how to throw the disc, sometimes they don't. I don't know.
So you should like focus the recruiting effort. Like go out to like
So I need
middle
to
schools.
Go back to TAMS.
Go back to TAMS.
Nah,
Undercover.
I would not go back.
He's like, I'm gonna teach you how to do calculus and throw a frisbee. You
Yeah.
can make it in both ways.
You
Good.
need to calculate where it's going, bro.
Dude, not with the wind. That shit you can never
Holy-
tell.
Can you even throw a forehand yet?
Yes, that's disrespectful. I can't throw a backhand. That shit.
Are you
far.
serious?
This thing, right?
How can you not
No,
throw a
but-
backhand?
So forehand. Wait, are you lefty?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is forehand.
So this is I can't do it. Oh, I can't do a
Like
forehand.
like in tennis, forehand.
Oh, okay. I can't do a forehand. I can do a backhand.
Yeah, backhand's like the most common
Yeah,
form of frisbee.
Yeah, I can't do it forehand. Vincent tried teaching me and he gave up. He spent like 15 minutes like throwing it, and then David tried to, and then it didn't work.
To be fair though, it is hard to pick up. You can't just pick it up overnight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like technique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought I knew a lot about frisbee, and then when I joined the club team, there is like a whole nother level of understanding that I didn't know. It's just kind of like with everything, there's always someone better than you.
Yeah.
But it was eye-opening. There's a lot of strategy that goes into making the offense work and how you're supposed to guard defense. So like when I showed up to my first practice on the club team, like all the rookies got yelled at because you're in the fucking way, like why don't you catch a disc every time? It's since there's no varsity, club is actually the highest level at the college age.
Okay, way to flex on us. Okay.
Yeah. So it gets like not like super serious, but these are people that are competitive and want to like spend extra time playing frisbee, so that there's like an elevated level of skill. And so I didn't even know that there are like 50 ways to throw a frisbee.
There's more than 2.
Okay, yeah, you need to think outside the box.
There's like a bunch of ridiculous throws. Like there's one throw where you take the disc and you wobble it up and down like
you've shown me that.
Yeah, it's called like the pizza pie because it's like you're tossing a pizza.
What the
And you
hell?
build up enough momentum on it so that you can like kind of just use the friction between your hand and the disc to spin it as you're building the speed like this, and then it just kind of like floats.
How would someone come up with that?
Sounds like
I have an idea.
People have a lot of time on their hands.
Sounds like the Rasengan shit from like you keep doing this shit.
Do you know what he's actually doing though?
What?
He has a water
in Naruto or like
in
the pizza pie?
Chakra, right?
He's using chakra in his hands and he's spinning a water balloon really fast. That's why it looks like this, is because he's spinning a water balloon, and that's what those.
That's water.
No, it's a balloon.
Oh, okay.
No, that's when he trained.
Well, that's what,
right?
that's when he was training, right?
Yeah, and then it
Okay.
eventually replaced it with chakra.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But you just like saw the momentum thing. You just keep spinning it, and then like you just throw it, and it goes on its own. I'm just like, dude, this is some Naruto shit.
Yeah, in order to make that throw work, you actually have to yell Rasengan.
You gotta shadow clone jutsu. Get your clone to help you
What
out.
if the defender yells Chidori? What do you do then? You've been
He blocks your throw.
It's like-
Then the game extends for 6 seasons. and then you have a spin-off.
About the sun.
You marry and have kids during the game.
God.
It's like in Harry Potter's like Quidditch, and like the World Cup goes on for so long that they have to take substitutes for take naps. It's just like that.
What? I never read Harry Potter, but that's a thing.
What the? You never read Harry Potter?
No.
Well, that's what Harry Potter was describing. Yeah.
You degenerate.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
I didn't even know you read.
That's oh my god, dude.
That's perspective.
Yeah, exactly. I read 10Ks and 10Qs. But wait, what? You've never read Harry Potter before?
I read other things. I used to read a lot as middle school, elementary
Yeah,
school.
he actually did, yeah.
Well, apparently not enough.
Wait, dude, I read so much. I read so much shit. I'm not gonna say his name, but the owner of this mic, ask him. We used to read a lot. There's so much. We talk about all these random books we read. Nowadays, it's just watching anime.
You've come this far.
It's coming of age story.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Still read a lot of manga.
Degenerate.
It's still reading, dude.
Dude, miss me with that.
Is it
Right
though?
to left. Right to left. Nah.
Dude, right to left is the way to go. I'm just saying.
You're gonna open up a real book and you're gonna start reading right to left. You're gonna be like, these pages make no sense.
I can't even read the words.
Oh my god. But yeah, back to Frisbee a little. Tell me more about this strategy. Because I feel like me and Jack are very, very
amateur
understanding of the actual strategy that's happening.
Disrespectful.
Okay, I'm not an expert by any means, but I had a year of club level. It's has a lot to do with the space, because in frisbee you're playing on a football sized field, but you only have 7 on a team versus football's 11, right? 10?
I think 11, right?
Yeah, 12 is penalty, right?
Yeah.
So versus 11. So you have a lot more space to work with, and like the game's in constant motion. So you're thinking about, where can I throw this disc so that my teammate can get it, but my opponent can't. So I guess to get into like a little bit of specifics, there are a couple different offensive schemes that pretty common, called vertical stack and horizontal stack. But basically it's just how you arrange your players, kind of like football where you have a formation of receivers.
Did it go vertical stack in football? Quarterback's all the way in the back.
So yeah, for people who don't know, vertical stack in Frisbee is where you line up your players in a line going like the same direction that you're going on the field, and the idea is that all the receivers are cutting and like running onto the sides of the field, and because of the mechanics of the way that you can throw a Frisbee, it's actually you can throw it to space easier for, like I said, your friend to get it, but your opponent can't. And that's how one way works. The other way is that you put that line on the side and you start running the other way. It just depends on the different strengths of the team, or sometimes weather conditions. Just like any sport, it's just has a unique flavor because of the shape of the ball that we're playing with. It's actually not a ball, it's a disc.
Thank you, Matthew.
I wasn't sure what type of ball that was.
There's actually a kind of like a joke jersey that the UT club team has where it says Texas flat ball.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, Frisbee strategy is like something that pickup, coming from a pickup background, like, it's completely new to me, but it's cool. Like the jump between informal play and formal play was like a really big one for me, and then so it even got to the point where, like, if I were to go back to playing pickup and people weren't playing with any organization, it'd be kind of like it would hurt my brain a little bit, because I'd be like like, this is so disorganized. I'm so used to playing with set. It's almost like a rule, like you have a flow chart of how you think you're supposed to do things. I think that could go for a lot of different sports, but it was really apparent for me for Frisbee because it's a big jump. There's not really a middle ground between beginner and intermediate. Once you start to learn the strategies and everything, that's kind of when you really broken into the sport and you're kind of about it.
Is that how you felt when we were playing last spring, and just every time
disorganized?
Yeah, hose stack, and then nobody listened.
So, defense with their hands up like this.
So for context, I've played Frisbee with Ben and Jack a little bit through FSA. We went to like a couple different competitions, but when you're teaching new people the game, it might take a little while for them to get over their pickup instincts. So we didn't play perfect offense, but I thought we played like respectably. Like we, did fine. Like we gave UTD, which is like a really good Frisbee school, a run for their money. We played them until the last point at last Goodfill. So we definitely have like a lot of potential and skill. And we only play in so many tournaments a year, so we don't have a lot of results to measure it by. But I think we're pretty good. Like, I have good faith in us. We're playing IMs this semester. It's gonna go.
A lot of new bloods.
It's like a lot of just like my friends. Like, it's not an official FSA team actually. It's just people that I messaged. So hopefully, like, it's getting time. Hopefully, I'll get an IM shirt this year.
Dude, I'm still looking. I'm trying to make my own team for IMs. Trying to play as many sports as possible.
Dude, I am pool.
Actually, that's like either that or like tennis. It's like the easiest way to, like, if you have like a more niche sport and you're like you excel at it, it's a really easy win. Like, I was trying to get one of my friends to play with me in mixed doubles because I was like, dude, we're gonna dominate, because we played competitive back when we were in high school, and we both like got to the ranking system is ZAT, champs, and super champs. And so, like, in order to progress to the next level, you have to win a tournament or accumulate enough points by, like, getting deep into tournaments.
Okay.
And so I was a champ, and my friend, she's a super champ. So, like, the odds that someone would, like, play mixed doubles and IMs and, like, be better than us when we've achieved, like, this level is, like, very low. So I was like, that's honestly my best bet. But then
Why
she doesn't
didn't
want
she
to.
do it?
She doesn't want to do it because she's like, those shirts are so dumb.
What?
Dang.
Dude, that's
Okay.
disrespectful.
They low key like the design last year was not as good.
The blue one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like the other ones better.
I like the black one. That was really good.
Oh,
Was
that
that
was like the
freshman?
our
Was
front.
that
Was that the
Was
I
that
think our freshman year.
Yeah,
What was the black one?
It was like,
I think it's the same design, but it was just black. Like it was
yeah.
orange letters and then it was just black.
I think it looked a lot better.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the shirt's still a flex either way.
yeah. So
My friends, they used to like farm pool. They have like so many IM shirts because they wouldn't even play solo pool. They play doubles pool. So the way pool works, if you play doubles, if you switch every single shot instead of like switch every single turn. So it's like, you know, they're basically taking the same number of shots as you, or maybe +1, -1. You know?
Oh yeah.
So you gotta have like a competent partner that you have chemistry with, and you gotta like set up your partner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's one way. Or you can play like big team sports like flag football and just lose.
The win is more satisfying.
Across all of the times I played, I think I've played like 4 seasons. I have 1 win.
Are you kidding me?
I have 1 win, and I have a
You
couple
gotta find a
games.
new team, man.
I have a couple games where I almost
That's why he's
won.
building a super team. It's like including me, dude.
Wait,
It has to
this
have a
is
super
the not super team. You know, putting you on our team puts us back down at the lowest league. It qualifies us for C League.
Oh my god.
There's this one game I played for IM Flag. It like hurt so bad. What happened was we were up 7-6 because I was on defense and we denied the extra point. And so we played the entire game up 7-6 because our offense couldn't get any traction past the first touchdown. Actually, no, we got a pick 6. That's why we got 7 points.
Oh, okay.
We got a pick 6, and our offense could generate 0 traction, and our defense was like too solid. And then IM Flag football goes like, instead of having like a runoff in like overtime, they have 10 play series. And that's like what they use to account for the last bits of the game. There's 10 plays across both teams. So wherever the score is at the end of those 10 plays, that determines whether you win or lose. Mm-hmm. So in those 10 plays, they started with the ball. They went on the 8th play because they converted on 4th and like 2. So they went to another 4th and 2. And on this second 4th and 2, I was playing pass rush and I was like, dude, for sure we're gonna sack them because this is a closed play.
Oh.
So in IMs,
my.
close and open plays, if you play co-ed, it basically just means open you can throw to anyone, close you have to pass to like a different gender, which most of the times is a girl because the quarterback is most of the time going to be male.
Yeah.
So what happened was on 4th and 2, they switched their QB as a girl and they like reversed their strategy, and then I was like a hair away from sacking her.
Dude.
But she like threw the ball out to like a guy like 10 yards down, and he like juked our two cornerbacks and a safety to get the touchdown.
He juked 3?
He juked 3 to get the touchdown. I was like, if we just down this guy, then we'll win.
Yeah, wait.
If we just down the guy, we win because they'll have 2 more plays. And then they scored, and then we blocked the extra point, and so they were up. We were down 7-12. And we had 2 plays to take it all the way.
Holy.
And then we lost because we couldn't take it all the way. It was the most heart-crushing defeat I've ever had.
You guys were probably up until like literally overtime, and then
Like, think about it this way.
destroyed,
Like,
right?
if our defense held them to 6 points the entire game minus a 10-play series. And then we give up like a massive play on just like a lost coverage or something.
You have to hand it to the other team, though.
Yeah, to come
That
in
sounds
clutch.
like pretty epic on their side.
Yeah, that was so clutch because like I sacked her right after the ball came out, and the dude like they have referees on both sides. He was like watching. I was ready, dude.
Yeah. That's insane that they didn't pull this out like earlier on, though. You know, like
No,
they
they
held
did.
it on for like the wild card.
They did. I was putting a lot of pressure on them. That's because the first time they did that play, I like sacked her immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think that was a 3-sack game for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Putting on the stats.
You want to know that game too? So in flag, you don't generally line up like a massive O-line because you only have 8 people in co-ed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you can only line up so many. But on a specific play, I think it was like 3rd and 5. Like they lined up 4 against me.
Dang, that's
I
giving you hella respect.
Like I actually so I thought because they lined up staggered. So I was like, what if I can like just slip through the hole really quick? But I tried. As soon as the play started, they closed the wall and I ran into the people. It was like the craziest thing ever. I was like, I didn't realize I would ram straight into 4 people because it's never happened to me before. The max is like 2 versus 1.
Yeah.
So what happens if you just accidentally truck them? Like,
oh no, so any contact is put automatically on the defense. Because the pass rush doesn't have to rush with their hands behind their back, but the O-line has to play with their hands behind their back. So all contact is contact is a penalty.
Yeah.
It's a matter of whether they call it.
Okay.
They didn't call it on me, but they should have.
That's what they felt bad for you.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I went 1 versus 4. I was like, what if I can slip through the hole and get a crazy sack?
So then what's holding the offense back from just bumping you?
Nothing. But the thing is, they can't because you can just move around them, right?
Okay.
Honestly,
a good offensive blocker might try to...
A good offense... the thing that you can differentiate a good one and a bad one in IM is whether they move back or not, right?
Yeah.
Because, for example, if in real football, you don't want your, offensive line to collapse in.
Yeah.
You want them to, form a semicircle.
Yeah, like a pocket.
Yeah, like a pocket. And the thing is, the center can't fall back. Otherwise, the pocket collapses.
Yeah.
And that's when the QB feels pressure and they have to scramble out. But in IM, it's especially important that the center doesn't fall back. Otherwise, the pocket collapses even faster.
Yeah.
Because there's less O-line, and the pass rushers have a huge advantage because they can use their hands.
Yeah.
So, that's, how you can differentiate a good one from a bad one.
So someone that's going to, stay in front of you.
Yeah, the major thing is staying in front, putting them in front of you. Because if you're pass rushing and you already get to the side of them, they can't just jump in front of you. Because it's not going to work. So, that's the only way you can keep them out is by, really, predicting their movement and, keeping a wide stance.
Okay.
So
And,
do you like playing defense or offense more?
I think offense is just generally more fun for any sport because you get the whatever it is, you get the disc, you get the ball, you get whatever.
You get the glory.
You get the glory.
Yeah,
I think defense is super underrated in a lot of sports, including football, because defense wins games.
Yeah. Like if you play fantasy, you don't even know who's on defense.
Yeah.
It's just all lumped into defense. The only defense players you're gonna know are JJ Watt and Jalen Ramsey maybe. And Aaron Donald, and it's usually for personality reasons, not even for skill.
Yeah, but if I play on Sunday night with Jack weekly, and he knows, dude, I lock him down on defense.
Okay.
I think defense is more fun because you have to be more skilled.
I think defense also when you make contact and slap the ball away, that is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
I think in Frisbee that's super hype too. My favorite plays to watch are layout Ds in Frisbee.
Oh, dude, those are so cool.
You have two guys running towards the disc right in front of them, and the defender is behind the offensive guy. That's usually how it works, right? The offensive player has the first break.
Yeah,
because they know where they're gonna go. The defender has to react. But if the defender can catch up and dive in front of them and hit the disc away, that's super hype. That's the highest effort play that you can do in Frisbee.
I think the craziest play I've ever seen, because I don't play actual tackle football, I just play IM football, was my friend, I can't say his name, but I put him on pass rush to switch it up, and I pulled back to safety, and he got in the quarterback's face, but he couldn't make the sack. So instead he put his hand up and got really close and blocked the ball.
Nice.
I was like, that's so...
That's pro level.
Yeah, that's actually pro level because in IM flag, that's virtually impossible.
Yeah.
Because the odds you get that close without them releasing the ball is 0. You would sack them before you could block the ball. And he blocked the ball, and the QB, he didn't even know where the ball went, and then it fell not far in front of him. He was like, wait, someone blocked that. And I saw that on I was playing safety, so I was really far away. I was like, wait, where did the ball go? Because I was tracking the quarterback's eyes. I was like, where did it go? So I thought he pump faked at first.
Dude, that's when you hit them with the disrespect. You just hit your chest or something, and you'd be like, try it again, bitch.
Yeah. So generally, I think defense is more fun. I think any sport I've played, defense is more fun.
I mean, it also helps if you can score on offense, Ben. So I mean,
wait, are you kidding? I'm nuts.
Okay.
It is that I have to play defense to let people like you play.
Oh,
because defense is the more
God.
skilled players.
Oh my God. Isn't I heard your nickname was Butterfingers according to Eric.
Wait, are you kidding?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
He last week he threw one target to me. I caught one ball.
Oh, okay.
You see that 100%.
Okay.
Wait, what do you like? Like offense or defense?
offense, especially when you like. Okay,
you get to celebrate in the end zone.
Yeah. Dude, those dances at the end, dude, they're so worth. But I mean, it's also like, because like it's normally man-to-man coverage, and when you like outstrip them and you run, when you just burn them on your route and stuff, that just feels so good, especially when you've like cleared them and like they can't catch up, and you know that it's just you and the ball now at that point. When you catch that and you make that like touchdown or like get into the end zone, like it just feels really good, I think. And so like that's like something I personally I can't recreate on defense, but I mean
this man's never gone interception.
Hey,
pick six, man.
Exactly. Dude, I don't get any pick sixes. I think I'm too short for that stuff.
I mean, I'm just saying this like I feel like a pick six is like an incredible feeling. It's like something you can never feel.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy. I don't know how to describe it.
You'd have to sit the offense down and read them like a book to
if
get the pick six.
Or you're like a really skilled corner. And you can get that like jump in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I definitely feel like if you're on defense, like you really love the game to like get to know like the ins and out of the game too. Like a lot of coaches are usually from like defensive positions, right?
They tend to be, or they're like really brilliant offensively, like Sean McVay of the Rams. Like I don't think he knows defense, but he knows how to run an offense.
High scoring game.
Actually, I think the better portrayal of it is the Kansas City Chiefs. Their defense is consistently ranked almost worst in the league, but because they have such a high-powered offense, they just outscore you. What their defense does is just slow you down.
But I don't understand though, because like they're two different squads, right? It's not like their energy is being expended one way or the other. So like, why is it that the case that like usually the high-scoring offenses have bad defense? Is it like a money thing?
Sometimes it's because like there's gonna be a defensive coordinator on the side. He's trying to read the play, and there's also I forgot which positions it was, but there's positions like on the defense that are like looking and trying to analyze what the offense is doing and trying to like get players in those positions. And sometimes they just don't read it correctly. And like the good defensive teams that you see, it's because they're like you can see them getting in position for the play before it's even started because they've read it, they know what's going on, and they're constantly on top of their stuff. And it's not like it pretty much comes down to a skill thing, I think. It's just like being able to understand, having a lot of game knowledge to the point where you're like, oh, I've seen this play, I know it's going to happen, and reacting accordingly.
Yeah, I think it's also harder because, like, for example, defense, you have to adapt to what they're doing, but offense, they can always bring something new to the game. And so if they bring something like a new flavor, or a new technique, or a new like strategy,
RPO,
run pass option. But like if you bring something new to the table, the defense initially can't take it. Like you don't want to defend against it.
Yeah.
And it makes it really hard. And then also in NFL, there's like a limit, like a hard cap that you cannot surpass. And you're paid more to play offense than you're paid to play defense.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. Also,
so it's like kind of unbalanced.
Also, because offense is super hype.
Offense is really hype,
especially when you just run it in and stuff. Like the crowd's cheering more so than when you like swat the ball or something.
Like I think a good portrayal of it is like Patriots versus Chiefs. They went like 54-51, and that was like the best rated game. And the worst rated game was like the Super Bowl. It was like 6-3.
Oh.
Even though the Super Bowl was like an impressive defensive showing from both squads, especially the Rams, who've not traditionally had a good defense.
Yeah.
And the Patriots have always had like a really staunch defense. Like if you know what's happening in the game, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But for a viewer that likes offense, they're like, oh, why'd you miss a throw? Why'd you do this? When it's not their fault.
Yeah. It's like, where's my touchdown? So that sort of like experience. I mean, I kind of had that feeling too. I got kind of bored of the Super Bowl. It was kind of boring because you didn't see any like actual gains, or you didn't see any high plays. And I think that's a big part about football, right? It's just seeing those kinds of things come to life.
I also think defense is hard to like train people to do. Like for example, a harder sport to play defense on is like basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's way more like blocks are so infrequent that it's like having like one block per game is really good.
Yeah.
And that's one block per game.
It's also like they're both like the players in basketball, they have to both do offense and defense, right? So it's a lot more tiring as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, same for frisbee. I think it's like really hard to play defense on frisbee because you're basically just following them.
Mm-hmm.
When you play frisbee and you receive the disc on the kickoff, you're expected to score. It's that kind of unbalanced, I guess. And like a big flow of the game state is how often you break the opponent. So breaking, just like in tennis, where you break a serve because your opponent was supposed to win that set. Same thing in frisbee where if you're starting off on defense but you still manage to score because you get a turnover, that's huge for the game. So defense and frisbee. That's why I said it's super hype when people get layout Ds because defense and frisbee in particular is pretty hard.
Yeah, I agree.
I always had trouble with defense, like keeping up with guys that were taller than me because I'm not that tall compared to other frisbee guys. And like I personally play a role where I'm running shorter distances because I throw the disc a lot more than I catch it. So then I have trouble running like the long distances keep up with other guys who like break loose.
Dang. Meanwhile, this guy just cherry picks in the end.
Wait, now hold on a second.
Yeah, dude, this guy, like, you're all, like, back here at, like, the 10-yard line. He's all the way in the end zone. He's like, oh, throw me this, throw me this.
Go long. Dude, I always go for the glory plays.
Go for the Hail Mary.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you still don't receive it.
Wait, that's toxic.
I should send it deep more when I play frisbee. I think that's one thing I'm going to work on this season.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're going to see all these hype Hail Mary plays.
I think inversely, though, in football, we need to send it short. Dude, we can never connect on the deep balls. Like, we're making a team with some of our friends. And, dude, when we play at practice, like, we don't ever try to recreate what it feels like. I bring flags. Like, we try to play O, but everyone's just like, oh, no, I'm going to just stand here, play QB, and then throw it. I'm going to throw, like, all the way to the end zone. It's never going to happen in IM. Like, the teams that win are the teams that can consistently dump and, like, use those, like, effectively.
But what if you get really good at throwing deep, and that's just like your strategy?
What if they have a good safety? You're screwed.
Then
I remember
that's when you adapt. But
That's
so like at least to get you to playoffs, you could probably rely on.
Okay, that's fair. You could because I feel like in IM, it's a lot of people don't know how to play defense, so you can really get those 50-50 balls.
you can't win without the defense, though, right?
And you have 4 downs to get. If you throw a 40-yard pass,
you got 4
plays,
tries,
and it's 50-50, you're going to convert every time.
Exactly. And there's only
math.
1 safety and 4 receivers, so you can't cover all of
Okay, see, that's like the worst offensive schematic. Though.
See, just send everybody deep.
That's actually the worst offensive schematic. Like when we're making our team, me and the other captain, we're trying to make it so that we at least have 2-0 or 3-0.
Oh, okay.
Because like
What
that's
does that mean?
like 3 offensive linemen.
Oh, okay.
Because like that provides a QB the most time. Like all the teams I played on, everyone they just like to line up max receivers and like let the QB fend for themselves, and so they always get these bad throws and then they flame the QB. Like, why can't you throw the ball, dude? I'm on the run being chased by like a million people.
Wait, so how many pass rushers are there usually?
Usually there's 1 or 2, but since you have a disadvantage in IM flag, you have to put your hands behind the back. The most optimal way to play O is put +1. Of their pass rushers. Otherwise, they're just gonna run around you.
Okay.
So you need another one to like guard the weak
wall.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then going off of that, when you line up for your formation, is there like an order, or do you just kind of like go? And then
For like receivers?
like you guys kind of like you just finished a play, and then you're gonna set up for the next one. Does like kind of the offense get together and be like, okay, we're gonna do 3 O-line this time? Like,
I see what you're saying.
Or
So
do you just kind of like line up and then just like
you can just line up if you already know what your plays are going to be. Having played like multiple seasons of flag, like I've been on teams where they just sort of like, oh, run whatever every play, and I've been on teams where like, hey, this is a design play. You go here, you go here, you go here. The plays I've enjoyed the most are the design plays because everyone has an integral part in making these plays happen. Like in co-ed, the biggest struggle everyone has is getting the play from close to open. And so there's a bunch of different inventive ways to try to like change that. And the most common one is just like, putting a girl on the O-line and then having them turn around and you can dump it to them. Yeah, like a bubble screen basically. But like the design play that we used is if you like make a toss in front of you, because the thing that
forward pass.
A forward pass, right? So you make a toss, it's basically a handoff because they're gonna sweep behind.
Yeah,
that's the design play we used. That we would sweep a girl, like we'll motion them before the play starts, and then as they're coming in front of the quarterback, that's when you hand it off to them.
Wait, that's actually pretty big brain.
And then you would
that's
have
pretty big.
Secrets, man.
We either had the receivers like run like ones on the number pad. We'd have them run ones to get them away, or we'd have them screen.
Yeah.
So like those plays felt really good because everyone was doing something to make this one play happen.
Yeah.
And then we used that same play. We used that play 3 times in a row to score. But we motioned from different sides every single time, and it was a different person every single time. So it like really confused the defense. And that one drive, I remember, it like sticks in my head. It like felt really good to score.
Nice.
Dang.
So like that's also why I like defense because it's more schematic heavy.
Okay,
And
yeah,
more like
yeah.
design heavy.
Like planning sort of stuff.
Yeah, because like for
Very-
example,
it's very structured.
yeah, because if you put like all man defense, you're gonna lose.
yeah,
That's just a guarantee. Like
yeah.
because what happens in all man defense, especially since they like to just do max receivers, you're gonna lose a coverage somewhere. The safety won't know where to go. But if you have like these structures in place, then you can really like push and pull and like really get stops where you need them. Like for example, if you put like if you just want to put like 2 pass rush and then you have 4 here and then 1 safety, you can always just feign the max blitz, and it will really screw them up.
Wait, what does that mean?
So blitzing is when you send someone at the quarterback that is not like lined up there, and so basically they weren't intended to go at the quarterback. It's a surprise play. And then max blitzes, you see them in NFL all the time on like 3rd downs, where it looks like they're bringing 6 or 7 guys. That's when you're like really like taking people away from coverage to just attack the quarterback.
yeah.
So
in
Texas
IAM,
versus LSU.
yeah.
So in IAM, like you're lining up your defensive ends.
Okay, so the way it would go is like, let's say you're trying to like make a blitz happen. You don't want them to know. You'd line up 2 like pass rushers.
Yeah.
Is you have 7. You have line up 2 pass rushers, 4 in the zone right here, and 1 safety in the back.
Okay, and then the 4 here rush.
You could. That's like that's the max. What's coined a max blitz is as long as you have every like supposedly open receiver covered and everyone else is attacking the quarterback.
Okay.
So if they lined up 3 receivers, you would have like the 2 cornerbacks on the edge pull out with the safety, and then everyone else rushes. And this
so
is
that's like a man coverage.
that's a man coverage situation. But the thing is, on that situation, you only want to guard the short ball because that's the only one that's coming out.
Yeah, right.
And that's why in NFL, it's really hard to make these 3rd down conversions because they really push the blitz on 3rd downs. And so everyone's like, oh, why is a QB not able to throw? Dude, there's a million people in his face.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think it was really interesting last semester because I was able to play on a team where I was able to like more run the defense. And we would like feign motions. Like since I was in the back running the defense, I'd tell people, like I'd walk up to them before the play started and go like, hey, you're blitzing this time. Or like, hey, like if I do this, blitz.
Yeah.
And it was like really, really effective.
Just okay, defensive captain.
Yeah.
But then people wouldn't listen to me when like, when the game gets intense.
Listen?
They wouldn't listen to my signals. Like when the game's getting really tight, you know.
Okay, yeah.
And that's when it started to break down.
Yeah.
Dang, so you're bringing that know-how onto the fall team, right?
That's what I'm bringing onto our team.
Damn. Okay, I might have to come watch.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't do that.
Okay, if you're coming to watch, we're putting him on the
I'm gonna
bench.
come.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
come heckle your game.
Oh my game. You know what I want you to do? I want you to go
tough
talk to the refs while in the game so you can get a good no call. Oh man. What other sports did you guys said you played?
Just play baseball.
What is the defense aspect in that? Like how big you
Isn't
play
baseball
defense?
pretty defense heavy, if anything?
Yeah, you're like playing defense more than you're playing offense. I mean, like time wise, I guess, because you only bat 1 out of every 9, but you're on the field like the entire half inning that your team's on defense. But like you might not get the ball hit to you, but you gotta be ready all the time. It's just about like fielding the ball. It's like really different. Like it's not as active as frisbee, but it's really cool. Like I used to play pitcher, so that's like
It's
the
like the
defensive position.
Wait a second.
Because if anything, like in baseball, is like pitcher is the one that gets the most glory, right? Yeah.
Well, like a lot of times, yeah. Like the pitchers make big money, but there's also like the highest paid player in sports is Mike Trout, I think.
Okay, yeah, he's like
He's just
He got like a really big deal, right?
Yeah, it's absurd. Yeah, but big bats are also like what make the highlights too. Like home runs, people who hit like 30, 40 home runs a season, like make pretty famous.
That's insane. That's insane.
How many games do you have in the season? How?
Like 162. Okay.
Oh, so you're hitting a home run like every 5 games?
Every 4 or 5, yeah.
I think 30 to 40 is like considered really good.
Oh,
for
okay.
I haven't followed in a bit.
I mean, yeah. Back to like defense versus offense. Like I know a lot of people think baseball is boring because it's very like slow and it's very. It's like it's actually hard to like hit.
It's a sport where if you hit the ball, like if you get a hit 30% of the time, you're considered really good at hitting.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's such low percentage.
Yeah, because this guy is throwing a ball the size, a baseball at 95 miles an hour at
like
you.
Pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah, like
and you're batting with a stick that's like basically the width of the ball.
Yeah, and like so you're aided by the speed of the ball, like, when players hit home runs, sometimes they don't even swing like that hard. Like they just make good contact with it. That's a whole nother point. But it's just like extremely hard to hit it. And then these pitchers have pitches that move. So you have a curveball that will look like a fastball.
Dude.
And then it'll like drop, of over a foot. Like some pitchers, like if you guys have ever followed baseball, like but Justin Verlander is one of my favorite pitchers ever. He's pitched for I think probably 12 to 13 years. He's on the Astros now. He's a sick curveball where it'll drop almost like the length of the entire strike zone of like strike zone goes from like a little bit below your pecs to above your knees. But it'll like make batters look silly. Just they're swinging up here and the ball's on the ground.
Dude, that's the juke right there. Wait, in baseball, can you juke the like shortstop or anything?
Like break their ankles?
They have to tag you with the ball, right? Like, can you like juke them and then like touch a plate?
Sometimes, yeah, like especially when you come to home plate, like the runner's trying to slide into the base and like they'll like kind of do this like swerve thing. It's pretty exciting, like when it does get exciting. But like Alex was saying, there is like the more mundane part where you're just kind of sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. But playing pitcher made that much more exciting because I was involved in every single pitch, and just like you were saying with being schematic, pitching there's strategy for every single batter, like.
Oh, so you're like reading who's coming up to bat?
Yeah, at the youth level, like high schoolish level that I was playing, it's not as intense. But in the majors, they have scouting reports on every single batter. Where they're good at hitting,
like tendencies, right?
Yeah, like they're really. So
this
good
is like
at hitting.
anime level. You're like, dude.
Like
I was reading some
analysis.
baseball manga. They're like going like like he really likes going here. So you try to do a curveball like this, and they're like
baseball manga.
Yeah,
there's manga for everything, dude.
It was actually pretty good. I like marathon pretty hard. That was literally my the last after my internship ended. Like that's all I did. Instead of like recruiting, instead of like making sure I was like ready for school, I was just like, let's just read this manga. They were just like, this guy's a really good hitter, so we're just gonna walk him. Like we're not even gonna give him the chance. Yeah.
Like the coaches come into play for that too, but you like read the scouting report, and then you also just have like. When I was playing, there's just a general strategy of you throw a fastball on like on a hitter's count, like something that if there are more balls and strikes, you generally throw a fastball because it's easier. If it's favorable to you, you try to fool them with a pitch. You vary going outside, inside, high, low.
It's like a mind game.
Yeah.
It is like a
they only have like that much time to react.
Yeah,
to it,
yeah.
So like you can really fuck with some people. That's why I love pitching too. Is that when you get a strikeout, it's like you really earn that because a lot of the times it's like you like psych them out or like I wasn't the guy that would throw so fast that no one can hit it. I had to be more methodical with myself and deke people with a curveball. Like I was pretty proud of my curveball. That was like my strikeout pitch.
Oh, dude. How do you play defense in swimming?
You jump in the water. You jump in the water while they're swimming. Like no, and you just like hold on to them and you just don't let them swim. That's how you play good defense. Or if you're doing those long distance ones, like where you have like the counters, you hit them with the counters to stop them from flipping and stuff.
You sabotage it, but you put like, you're actually one ahead. And
Exactly.
they stop. You're just like psych.
Yeah, exactly. They stop and then they see the clock still running and they panic and they keep going. Or you loosen their goggle straps, right?
Oh, that's
That is-
big brain.
That's bad. That's bad, man. Like, they jump in the water. I feel so bad sometimes because, like, when I was in high school, there was a lot of guys who were, like, super fast, but they would dive in. They would just dive in wrong. And their they would come out, like, surface. And their goggles would be up here, like, and like you could see, but like our coach had told us, our coach had like trained us, and they were just like, if your goggles come off, you keep on swimming. Otherwise, I will make sure you never see the light of day. So they would just be like, and like they would just keep swimming, and like oh my, one guy he like face planted into the wall.
Oh, no flip turn.
Yeah, because he couldn't tell where the flags were, because normally use the flags to like.
Use the flag.
Oh, just backstroke.
Yeah. Oh no. This was actually freestyle, but I mean he just couldn't see anything. So,
Okay.
so he was just like this, and he just like hit his hand on something and just like hit. Like,
Wait, did he get the counter though? The stopper?
No, because this was the 25, so he was supposed to flip.
Oh!
So he actually got there, like smashing into the wall, and just kept going. He used his head, like the head momentum to like turn around, and then the coach was just like, "Do you need medical attention?" And he just like, "Yes." He's just holding his head, and he's just like that.
Concussion protocol. Go to the tent.
No, we actually had one of our swimmers back in high school. He actually got a concussion. Like, he actually got a concussion swimming.
Wow.
I think he just, like, he wasn't paying attention. He was doing backstroke, and I think he just miscounted. Because he was using, sometimes we use, like, equipment. So we have, like, fins or paddles, and they make you go further than you're supposed to. So I guess he miscounted, he just right into the wall. And then he, like, it was actually kind of terrifying when it happened, because, like, I was in the same lane as him. I hear, like, a doom, and then I just see him start slowly floating towards the bottom, and I was just like, oh.
Wait, but humans float.
No. He just like, no, he was like unconscious, right? So he just like fell out, and I thought he'd just given up. Because like, we're in the middle of a hard set, right? And I thought he just gave up and just sank to the bottom. I was just like, dude, that sounds like a good idea.
I wish I could do that. Let me join you.
I was just like, yeah, let's just hide here until our coach comes.
They won't see me down here.
He's like, oh, did he drown or whatever?
No, because this guy was so good. I thought, okay, dude, there's no way he like hurt himself or something, right? I also had like friends, like, I mean, they weren't like very serious about it. They were just on the team like for a sport, and so they would hide under the bulwark. And so like on the other side, there's like a little pocket of air you can go under. So sometimes during hard sets, they would dive under the bulwark and appear that little pocket and just hide there. Because there were so many swimmers in the lane, they couldn't tell who was who. And they would coordinate with each other. They'd be like, all right, you wear like this colored cap, I wear this colored cap, so the coach thinks it's the same person. It was actually genius. But then, like, they'd eventually, they'd run out of air. They'd have to go back. But, like, oh, man, that was fun.
Bro.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And these were all thought of at, like, 5 a.m. in the morning. So, I mean, it's, like, pretty big brain plays.
Back to Matthew's part about being, like, the pitcher and having to be methodical.
Yeah.
I remember playing tennis growing up. I would, like, I'm an Asian kid. I was pretty scrawny back then. I was also pretty short back then, so I was in general.
Back then.
I played, like, majority of the time I spent playing tennis was middle school and a little bit of high school.
Yeah.
And so, like, I wasn't generating as much power as my opponents. So I had to, like, play this style. You know how, like, if you've ever watched tennis, like, the ideal place is just hit back and forth, right? At the corners and make them run. That was my style.
You would just scam them so hard and make them...
I couldn't, like, hit a winner because I wasn't hitting it hard enough.
It's like the pacer test, just going back and forth for the other guy.
I just remember the tournament that I won to become a champ. So tennis, there's a lot of mind games because it's a 1v1 sport. And so you can really get into their head. And so whenever you always warm up before you play, like, sanctioned matches.
Yeah.
And so I would never, like, play really hard during sanctioned matches, but some of my opponents, they're trying to hit winners on you in, like, the warm up. And so I'd never do that hard. I never serve that hard. But then when a match comes, I like
turn it on, right?
I really turned on. There was this one match I played. I aced a whole game away.
Holy
beast.
That's insane.
But anyway, so, like, the finals, that match, I was, like, really, like, trolling in the in the warm up, and I could tell he was getting agitated. And then, like, I just played in a way where, like, I was just making him run around. I would have opportunities to hit winners on him.
That's smart.
But I wouldn't. I would just, like, I'd feed him the ball some more. and he got so mad. His dad threatened to, like, take him out of the match.
Holy.
Yeah, and that's how I won.
That's it.
I got into his head. Like, I was, like, really playing.
He got into his dad's head.
You tilted him so hard, you tilted his dad. Wait, so whatever you're swinging on was, did that arm get, like, excessively bigger than the other arm that
tell
didn't use the
scoliosis.
swing?
Yeah, I'll tell the story. So in middle school, you know how they do the scoliosis test? They run the thing.
Yeah.
So when I was able to generate power, like in the later part of like middle school and beginning of high school, I like served a ton, and that like became a trademark of my game. I'd serve really hard. And then so what happened was when you serve, you're not using the other side of like your body, right? Your shoulder, your back, none of it is being used, but on the right side, it's like excessively being used. So what happened was in 8th grade, they did a scoliosis test on me. They ran their fingers down, and it was like this. Like there was a bump, and they thought I had scoliosis, and so they sent me to a bunch of doctors, and then, like they did a bunch of X-rays on my bones, on my spine. It was straight. But then they were like, "What's up?" Why? And then they would like run their hands like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
And then turns out they did a different type of X-ray that would show muscle. And they're like, "Oh, that's what it is."
So was it just like massive growth in like,
It's like
one
this.
side? Oh my god. Dang, that's insane. I'd always heard stories about that. It's like you can always tell like which hand like somebody like hits the racket with because it's like massive versus like the other ones is like normal size.
There's a big difference in my forearms.
Oh.
That's what people told me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Oh yeah.
Also, scoliosis. Let me show you this really funny video from Twitter.
Okay, what is this?
Have you guys seen the video of the girl trying to straighten her hair and it's like not getting straight and she's getting like?
I think I know what you're talking about.
You probably recognize the audio at least.
No.
Okay, let's see.
And then we'll post it in the description.
Yeah. This. Okay. Here, what's going on here?
Why do we keep doing that? Like it's going this way. Like no, I'm fucking trying to straighten it down. Like no, go
Yeah, that's a scoliosis. That's a real doctor.
That's a real doctor.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's what
Is
you're
he trying to
training
go?
to be.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to be a doctor so I can make these TikTok videos.
In orthopedics, yeah, I'm gonna make it go whoop.
Which way should the spine be going? Is there a verbal? Why do I have? Can I demonstrate with my hand?
Can I make it go like whoa?
Dude, that's a broken spine. That's a broken spine right there. If it's going in circles, someone fucked up really bad.
You broke it twice.
Wait, but 2 negatives make a positive, so it's actually not broken. If it's broken twice, it's broken 0 times.
That's big brain.
I mean,
so you're telling me you got to break your knee again?
Yes,
If
exactly.
you're gonna break it once, just keep on breaking it an even amount of times.
Exactly.
An even amount of times.
Multiple of 2.
So you're telling me Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger got to break their right arms again?
Exactly. No, they have to break their left arms to even it out, and then like when they heal, they'll be twice as strong on both arms. That's how it works. I did the math.
Zenkai boost.
You ate like a Zen. What is it?
Zenkai.
No, the bean that they eat.
Oh, sensu bean.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh my god.
That'd be epic in real life.
No,
That's an epic gamer moment.
it's like they have the cast, like Drew Brees walks on with his cast and he just drops it. It's like in Rock Lee when he drops the fucking weights and stuff and just drops it on the field, goes doom, and then he like picks up the ball and he just casually throws a Hail Mary all the way down the field.
That's the new playbook for the New Orleans Saints.
Exactly. So we also have to train with weights when we do SNF.
Okay.
So, yeah. So that way, like
We'll have our QB. We'll have someone pull their arm down as they go.
and then you just hidden lotus the safety, and then you just make the touchdown. It's easy, dude.
Have you guys ever used ankle weights?
Once.
For what? Like
Just like training or
no.
Like
Yeah,
running
I've
or
used
something?
it once.
You feel so fast afterwards.
No, while you're using it, you feel so slow.
I know, but then afterwards, it's like
What
it's
do they
crazy.
look like? Like
It's exactly what it looked like when Rock Lee did. It's literally just
Straps.
weights that you put on your leg like this.
It's like
There's also variation for your
around
arms
it.
too.
oh. I'd imagine like afterwards that you just feel like you feel like Sonic or something, right? Like all the way down the field.
It's like the time you actually got 1 second slower.
It's the perception. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Perception's reality.
It's like the same thing. Why like so sometimes before like big meets, swimmers will shave even if there's nothing to shave. Cause they tell them it's like shaving your dead skin cells off, but it's like I don't know if that's true or not. But like the idea is it's mental. It's all in your head, right? So if you say you shave, you think you'll go faster, and you will go faster because you think you're going.
Oh, it's
faster.
like yeah, dude.
Exactly.
It's mental schemias.
It's like also like sometimes they would at like the higher up meets you could buy carbon suits, and so these things were like like $100 or something, and like apparently they had carbon flakes to make you go fast. I don't know the science behind it. I don't even know if they worked or not, but half of it was mental again too. It was just sort of like you just felt like I have the equipment, I can go faster, and then you go faster result. And then you say it's the equipment, but it may have just been you. You know what I mean? And you'll never know. Sorry.
Dang.
So the results are there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So basically, what I'm hearing is sports is easy to big brain.
Exactly.
Pay to win.
Pay to win.
It is pay to
Get
win.
the carbon suit.
It's like when you buy the suit in Maple Story for NX Cash.
Oh.
That's pay to win, dude.
Oh my
But yeah, we should start wrapping up now because we went a little overtime.
Okay.
How was it today?
Good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It definitely didn't feel like I was being recorded. I felt sort of just like, like a conversation I had with y'all on like a daily basis.
Okay, that's pretty good. Shout outs to Lin Tran again. It's at Lin Source or something and at Quay Too Cool. So those were our two artists. Thanks again to them. We're looking for sponsors. Yeah, and we were Nuanced Nonsense. Thank you for listening.